I have been a huge supporter of the Microsoft Surface line ever since the announcement of the original Surface Pro. I even saw the value in the Surface RT. I use a Microsoft Surface Pro 4 as my daily computer at home. I use the Surface Book as my computer at the office for the better part of 5 months. I love and I believe in the line, but there was a huge gap in what Microsoft was offering. And enter the Surface laptop, which answered a question that a lot of people wanted. Just make a real laptop, Microsoft. I don't want to carry a tablet. I don't want a weird looking laptop I can take the screen off of. I just want a traditional thin laptop. Microsoft delivered on that with the Surface laptop. And it's gonna seem strange to say this, as good a laptop as this is, I don't think you should buy it. But first, hear me out about the laptop. So pricing on the Surface laptop is something I'm gonna talk about quite a bit. You can pick one up, the entry level, for about $1,000. It's gonna get you 4 gigs of RAM, it's gonna get you an i5 processor, they will be 7th gen, and 4 gigs of RAM. Ours is $300 more at $1,300. We've got 7th gen i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigabytes on the SSD. You can max this sucker out for like $2,200. I don't recommend it. I think the configuration we have is kind of the sweet spot. It'll work pretty well for almost any computing you want to do, save for like video editing and gaming. The design here is very clearly a Surface laptop. It's aluminum and oddly Alcantara on the keyboard. Alcantara is usually reserved for high-end cars, the headliner, but it feels really nice here. I've got some concern about how it's gonna wear over time with greasy-ass palms, but it feels really nice. There's a weird seam on the side. It looks like you can almost lift it off. Kind of wish that wasn't there. Small issue, but I do like how it looks. It makes the computer look kind of nice. And if you like the way computers look, you can pick from one of 4 colors Microsoft offers. They've got a really nice arrangement of colors. We've got the kind of boring silver here. Microsoft did a couple cool things. If you look at this laptop, you notice you can't see a speaker grill anywhere. The speakers are actually underneath the keyboard. You're probably gonna think like I did, they're gonna sound crazy ass muffled. They actually sound really good, especially considering the sound is kind of coming directly through that keyboard. And speaking of the keyboard, it's pretty reminiscent of the type cover that we had with the new Surface Pro and the Surface Pro 4. It's got a little more key travel, but it feels good to type on. Trackpad would have liked it to have been a bit bigger, but it is really smooth. Microsoft does an incredible job with their drivers on the Surface line with the trackpads. No force touch stuff here, it's traditional, gotta push it in, but it does work really well. So battery life was also pretty decent. I got about 7.5 hours. It's not the best in battery department of laptops we've tested, but it's not horrible, and if you sort of tone down what you're doing, you'll easily be able to get through a full day. Microsoft's been pushing this 3.2 aspect ratio on the screens for a while, and I still really like it, much like I did with the Surface Book. The screen on the laptop is pretty incredible. It's a 13.5-inch screen with Gorilla Glass 3. It's 2556 by 1504, so you have plenty of pixels, and the aspect ratio means you're not gonna have to do that much scrolling. If you take it outside though, it is going to be insanely reflective, so this is definitely gonna be like an inside computer. Ports are limited. You've got a single USB-A port, you've got a mini display port, and a Surface connector. That's about it. I would have liked to have seen USB Type-C or at least Thunderbolt 3. Microsoft is not quite ready to commit to that yet, so not here. Also, no SD card reader, so you probably have to carry a few dongles with you. Big thing this computer has also is Windows 10, but it's Windows 10S. Think of it as like regular Windows 10 without being able to download your own apps, unless those apps live in the Windows Store, which is like a wasteland of apps right now. Microsoft Office is now in there, but the app selection is just not good. Microsoft is trying to use this computer to sort of force developers to make apps for the Windows Store, which maybe they will. I think Microsoft is aware that that's probably gonna annoy some consumers. So for at least for right now, you can download Windows 10, the full version, for free. Ultimately though, it's gonna cost you about $50 to do that if you want the full version of Windows. So keep that in mind when I start telling you why you shouldn't buy this laptop. So it's a pretty good laptop. It works well, battery life was good, it looks nice, it feels nice, dimensions are pretty similar to laptop. It's clearly trying to fight in the MacBook Air, fits in the bag really well. Why would you not buy it? The big reason not to buy this laptop comes down to price. If you value your dollar and you want to get the best computer and the best value for that buck, this is not a good deal. Look at the competition. So first, the Razer Blade Stealth starts at $900, but if you want to look at spec for spec, have it be similar, the brand new just announced gunmetal version of the Stealth is $100 more, but it's going to give you double the RAM at 16 gigs, it's going to give you a 4K display, going to give you a 7th gen i7 processor, it's going to give you full Windows for that $100 difference. And if you end up having to pay for Windows 10S, you're now only a $50 difference. And maybe if you try and buy the pen to go with this, it could end up being a wash, but you're getting so much more for $100. But if you want to spend even less, just browsing Microsoft's own store online shows way better value for your computer buying buck. Even the new Surface Pro, the brand new just announced Surface Pro, you can get this thing spec for spec and have it exactly be the same price. Now granted, you have to buy a type cover, but you're getting the portability of a tablet and also getting the ability to sort of have it fold almost all the way down to be able to write on. It's a really nice option. The stand is really good on that. So those are just a few examples I found while just generally browsing Microsoft's own store. And beyond all that, all those computers also come with full version of Windows 10. I don't like the 10S. I feel like Microsoft's trying to push something on consumers they shouldn't be doing. Now know that going in, so you'll know buying this, you're gonna have sort of a neutered version of Windows. You're gonna have to either hit that upgrade button, which is pretty easy, it takes about a few minutes to upgrade, or you're gonna have to pay for it if you're after that trial period. So that's the Surface laptop. It seems kind of strange to not have a positive feeling about the Surface line. I've loved them since the very first gen. I've been evangelizing them. I've recommended them to friends and family. Hell, I've even bought 3 different Surfaces for my own personal use. But this guy, I just don't see the value. But if you bought one and maybe you're thinking about buying one, you see the value that maybe I didn't mention, let me know in the comments. We can talk about it and perhaps you can change my mind. Much like a politician, I can flip-flop if I'm proven wrong. Until next time, I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo.